Go back over, like I showed earlier, and there it is. There's 100,000. Woohoo! We hit it. No going back now, right? Hey everyone, Larry Bailey here with Mastering Encompass. And one of the things that I decided to do back in July, actually, if we go here back in July 9th, I had 145 followers on this channel. And what I wanted to try to figure out was, how do I make YouTube actually be something? I wanted to shoot this today because I'm getting close to 100,000. 100,000 is a pretty big deal for any size channel. Puts you into a different sphere of influence, so to speak. And I thought it would be really great to explain to you how I got here, because I don't see anybody else talking about the way that I did it for my particular content, because it's unique. It's a very small niche in the world. So how did we get here so fast? When I look at my content, we got some decent views. It's not setting the world on fire. It's not like millions of views. A lot of what I've been able to do is expose my content to places that you might not think about. So if we come over into content and we come over into promotions. So here's what I did. My big guy was this one right here, Encompass Web. So this Encompass Web, when I look at this promotion, so this was the first time where I'd said like, oh, okay, I get this now. So I'm gonna go in and look to see what else I can find that's interesting to promote. And I've only had 7 promotions. That's it. And this is what I've paid, right? And again, I'm a consultant, so I make a good bit of money from consulting. I'm not trying to monetize this channel. I use this channel to promote what I'm doing because A, it gives me Google responses for people looking things up. B, it puts me out as an authority on the content that I know I'm an authority on. So a lot of times people are talked to by salespeople in my industry and what I do. And when you can get to that person with a level of authority, they're not listening to the salesperson. They're just thinking about you. And so that's what this is all about for me. For me to spend $3,000, rounding up, right? $3,000, we've doubled our company in the last 60 days. Doubled it. Just flat out doubled it. And so what am I suggesting that you do? What I'm suggesting that you do is experiment. Now that part out there's plenty of videos and much smarter folks than me on YouTube that explain how to experiment. I also, I'll give a shout out to vidIQ also, by the way. They're not paying me. This is not a promotion. This is me just saying I'm a user of vidIQ. And what I like about vidIQ is it gives me a couple of different ways to suggest. It gives me a couple of different edits. For me, I use it casually. I'm a casual user, point blank. Honestly, when I look at how I've put these things together, I'll use this one as an example. So when I look at this, I go, okay, I spent $300, which is very inexpensive for us. I know $300 for a lot of people is a lot of money. I'm not that naive, but $300 I grabbed documented. There's a specific way YouTube tracks your promotion subscribers. It actually tells you right here. So if they subscribe to the channel after clicking on the promotional video, that's how it gets tagged. But it's not even close. And again, do the math, right? $308 to get 54. And by the way, and this is, if I stop the promotion, people can still subscribe to the promotion because they've got 30 days to come back and subscribe. So it's a hands down easy deal for me. I think this is a huge win for people if you've got the resources to pay for promotion. Again, if you total up all these promotion subscribers, it does not equal 99,000. Not even close. So why are all these people subscribing? This is the most magical part of this entire video. When I went and did the promotions, I want you to understand that when you go and you do your promotion, you get to decide what countries see the promotion. These countries are not random for me. These countries are where I know my audience is. And this is the magic. This is the thing that if you went to a school or a class or a program, Marketing 101 is you need to talk to your audience where they are. That's it. And one of the things that is very important to understand for me is I know where my audience is. Yes, the people who buy my services are in the United States, but I need to get subscribers to get Google to believe people want to watch my videos, to promote, to get Google searches and everything else, right? So how do I get there? I get there to go to the places where I know people who are getting paid to use Encompass and they have very little to no training outside of their employer, who also might have very little to no training that they're offering. Those places in particular are India, the Philippines, and Pakistan. I know this because people that I work with in my industry outsource these jobs, these US-based mortgage companies, banks, they outsource these jobs to countries that have workers in Philippines, Pakistan, India. So how do I know I'm right? Let's go ahead and test the thesis. So what I'll do is I'll go into analytics, go into see more, and you'll see that, here's where I picked up. I was doing, if I go, this is 28 days, right? So let's go back 90 days. Look at all this promotion I was doing. I was testing all different kinds of videos here. In this particular moment, let's go to like here. I was testing out the three most known reasons, making my first 5 million, don't make these 7 mistakes, workflow before technology, and then quick input form tricks revealed. I was doing all these things at once because I wanted to see what hit. And that's where I found that blue line, 3 must-know reasons to use Encompass Web. I don't know why, truthfully, people like it. I don't know if it's my thumbnail. I don't know if it's the 10 or 15 seconds that they watch in the beginning. I don't know. I still haven't quite figured that out yet. It's still worth investigating. But what I can tell you is I've been able to mimic mostly, not entirely, but mostly the repeat performance with that workflow before technology. And you can see I took a break here because I was figuring things out. So the last time I paid for a promotion here was September 3rd. It came back into market on September 26th, so about 3 weeks. So when I look at things like cities, again, here we can see Pakistan, India, Pakistan. I translated some of my videos into local languages in those areas. Not all languages, because Pakistan and India have a lot of languages, and I didn't translate everything. So the last thing I'll say on here is that I want to show you was playlist. So in here, I have some video playlists in here, right? I've got Encompass tips and tricks from Larry Bailey. I've also got a podcast. That podcast that I told you that I had through Buzzsprout, I put in YouTube. Why? Because I can't get podcasts across the world like I can YouTube. So with YouTube, I hooked it up through YouTube podcasts, and then I promoted that. So again, here's podcast. We can see views 9,715 from podcasts. You can see, how many views per playlist, and I picked up 16 hours. It's pretty cool. So again, going back to why is this important for me to share with you? I wanted to share this because when I look at these numbers, to me, this is just crazy stuff. I never thought this would happen. Didn't really expect it. But I've also got content. So here's all my posts that have come out. We use a combination of longs and shorts. Now on October 16, so whatever that is, next week, YouTube's going to allow us to do 3-minute shorts. I'm probably going to do more 3-minute shorts. I'm still going to have more than 3-minute longs because that's more the content of what I'm posting. But we have been posting more and more shorts in here. And so this is my shorts list. So you can see down here, we've had some stuff that when it goes public, it gets a few hundred. It's not tremendous, but it gives us a good exposure to people through shorts. So then they come back to our playlists. And you can see how many videos are in each of these playlists to try and give content. As a footnote here, just because it's important, I'm actually I build up communities, and again, like I said before, I'm in the mortgage space. So, when we look at what is Mortgage Community, I built this up, Mortgage.Community, and it's got about 1,100 people on there, right? And these are really hyper focused folks that all we talk about is mortgage, all we talk about is Encompass, and these are professionals I've known for a while. So we have that going on. I've also got my podcast. I've got actually 2 podcasts. I've had Mastering Encompass, which is the older podcast that has 113 episodes, and then I have Mortgage Community, which is the newer podcast, and has 108 episodes. So on the old one, my stats went back. If I go back to all time, so we had this bubble over here, and it popped. It was like pop, gone, and this little curve happened because I switched over into the Mortgage Community Podcast. And so when we look at these stats, again, I'll use all time, and we see kind of when it started back in January of 2024. We see this huge hill here in August because there was a big release on the Encompass platform that I covered pretty intensely, and then now we're down here. So again, just one of those things that I do that corresponds with YouTube. I hope this has been helpful. What I'm gonna do is put this back on live count for number of subscribers. So here, and kind of let this roll out. To get to 100,000, we'll come back. It's probably going to take a couple hours, and we'll let this play out. So thanks to all the subscribers. Thanks for everybody who's helped grow the channel. We're at 99997. I think I know what comes next. It's probably 99998. But we'll see. So to everyone who's tried to get to this mark, keep at it. The one thing I will say is, and I know you hear this. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's true, but you also need to find your voice, and whatever that is. It doesn't mean that it's going to be the most popular. In my particular case, again, I happen to be passionate about a piece of software called Encompass, which touches a lot of mortgages in the U.S. And because it touches a lot of mortgages in the U.S., and a lot of U.S.-based companies love to pay less for labor, they outsource. And as I said earlier in this video, where we are in multiple countries across the world, for me, that's where this whole thing took off. So, if we go back over, like I showed earlier, and there it is. There's 100,000. Woohoo! We hit it. No going back now, right? So thanks, YouTube, for making this happen. Thanks, all of our subscribers, because none of this matters without you. And thanks to my incredible team at Mortgage Workflow Partners, who constantly figures out how to make me look good somehow on video. I'm not quite sure how they do that, some kind of Hollywood magic. But here we go. And so now we're at 100,000, and I think the next big milestone is 1 million, right? So we'll see how long that takes to get here. This 3-month journey has really been something. So if I go back the last 90 days, again, here's where we were at 155 as of July 10th. And here we are at 100,002 as of October 8th. Pretty crazy. I'm going to go back to work doing what I do. Thanks everybody for watching. Enjoy, and leave in the comments if you've tried things. If you want any feedback on my perspective, It's just like an average guy doing some stuff on YouTube. If you want me to give you some feedback and ideas of how to help your channel grow, I'd be happy to. All right. Peace out, everybody. And do me a favor. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and channel, and let's keep it growing.